First pass on this field. Got the fertilizer spread earlier today. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be any rain in a whole week's worth of forecast. But I think there might be enough moisture in the soil if we can get this disked up. It's pretty sandy loam, so it shouldn't plug up the disc too bad. There might be enough moisture in here to actually germinate the seed, but it's not really ideal. Ideal would have been planting this midweek, but we just couldn't get out here. But I would assume there's gonna be rain eventually, obviously. So we're gonna try and get the seed in the ground probably tomorrow. We got this plot and another plot we're gonna plow up today. I put on roughly 2 bags of 923/31 in this field. We actually just brought this tractor a couple weeks ago. This is the first pass we've ever plowed with it. First time actually ever using it. So kind of curious to see how this turns out. Yeah, so too bad we missed all the rain, but we're gonna try and get the seed in the ground. Well, that's it. Just finished up planting. It took like 15 minutes. Probably would have only took 10 if I wasn't filming. I mean, you can't beat just broadcasting by hand. I mean, it's pretty efficient. All I gotta do is come back through and disc them under. So I probably won't even take much footage of that. I've done that so many times. This is about almost a 1 acre field behind me. And on my phone with the calculations, I got about 3/4 an acre soybeans I just planted. And then the other field over this way that I took some drone footage of plowing yesterday, that's about a half-acre field. So that's going to be, it ended up being about 1/3 of an acre of soybeans over there. So a little bit more soybeans than corn, which is fine. So between these two spots, about 1 acre of soybeans just planted. I had 2 bags. These are pretty much full to the top. I still got a little bit of seed left, but not much. And these are obviously 50 to 55 pound bags. So I just put on, you know, seeding rate's a little heavy, 100 to 110 pounds. I think the average for soybeans is like 50 to 70, but these are small plots. Like I said, with no alfalfa, no soybeans being around this year, they're gonna get hammered. The only thing I'm worried about is, I mean, we're not supposed to get rain for over a week, so maybe even close to 2 weeks, which is not ideal at all. I should probably be doing this next weekend, but next weekend I'm gonna be planting probably this lower field and some other fields around here. So it's just good to get this stuff in. It's just gonna be waiting on a rain. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'll probably get a little footage of planting the corn. I'll set up a time lapse or something, but yeah, you probably won't see this plot again for maybe a month. So see you then. All right, so here we are. This is probably getting close to a month after planting. First update. You could see some of these beans definitely go kind of deep, because look at this one's just coming up, and you can see some of these. I mean, they're coming along really nice. I already got their multiple trifoliate leaves, and they should really be starting to take off. You can see certain areas are probably a little thick. Like it's a little thicker than what I'd want it, but the only upside to having it too thick is you will get canopy closure pretty darn fast. I did spray these probably like 2 weeks ago, and I think I'm gonna probably hit them again today before they get much bigger, because there is a whole new flush of weeds coming, and that'll probably be the only, you know, I'll probably be good for the rest of the year then, because these things should take off and canopy over relatively fast. There was a couple of them getting nipped on by deer, but it really wasn't that bad. I was expecting a little bit more browse, honestly, because most of the fields around here are all corn. There is some bean fields over that way, like maybe a 1/4 mile. And you can see right here some that are nipped on, but you can see these will grow back because they're nipped on, you know, above the cotyledons. They're all these are trying to grow back. And I think some of that browse pressure is rabbits as well. Because every time I drive down the lane here, I'll see like 2 or 3 rabbits coming out of the bean field and running into the brush and stuff. But yeah, looking at it like straight on like this, I mean, it's looking pretty close to canopy, but you look straight down and there's still plenty of sunlight getting in here. So I'm gonna definitely spray out these weeds today and hopefully get an okay kill, and I can have a pretty weed-free plot, hopefully. I put these in nice and thick, you know, hoping for fast canopy closure. And then we got some Nutri-Crave over here. I cultivated this yesterday. This obviously being non-GMO, no spray, no glyphosate on it. I did put simazine down for pre-emergent, so simazine seems to be stronger than the Prowl H2O that I've been using for beans. You can't use simazine on beans, they won't come up, or they'll come up and just die. I didn't cultivate this last row because I would just rip out too many beans then. So yeah, this corn's up and really starting to rapidly take off, so it should be pretty good. I probably won't need to cultivate this at all again. I mean, literally in 2 weeks I won't be able to. It'll be getting too tall to get the tractor through here. So yeah, I'll probably have at least one more update of this plot. I think I'll probably just include this video with the Trump plot video. We planted those pretty much the same exact day. Alright, so here we are. I do have, as you can see, a little bit of corn. I think I said this one the day we planted, maybe not. I don't even think I got, oh, I did get quite a bit of footage of planting this field. So here's that corn screening wall. I came out here, I think about, I don't know, about a week, maybe 10 days ago, and broadcasted a bunch of urea on pretty much this corn, pretty much all my corn that was coming up right before a good heavy rain. So this stuff should be pretty well fertilized, along with all the 9-23-31 I put down when we plowed this under. These soybeans, this whole plot was planted the same day, like I said, as the first one I just showed you. I sprayed this one and the other one the same day, like 2 weeks ago. Might have been 3 weeks ago now. But this plot actually looks a little bit better. I'm seeing, that's a water hemp. That probably wouldn't die anyways. Or a pigweed, one of the two. This plot, for some reason, looks a little better. Not as many weeds. I might just wait on spraying this one. I think this one might need, for sure, one more spraying though. There is some stuff in here, like this weed, that'll be like 3 feet tall by the end of the year if it don't get killed now. At least 2, I mean. But overall, this plot looks really good as well. So I'll probably have at least one more update of both of these plots. I'll take you over to this edge here. I have some Nutri-Crave. This is field corn, obviously mixed with the beans, so I could spray it all. And you can see the deer already chomping on this stuff. For whatever reason, this variety I planted, this is the seed from last year as well. And I've planted other varieties of field corn that they've ate on pretty hard in the past as well. But you can see these plants might recover. These ones probably won't. But the Nutri-Crave, like look at this right here, more of it right here. And the Nutri-Crave they always leave alone during the summertime. I'll come over here, you won't see a single one chomped on, I bet. I just cultivated that yesterday as well. Got 6 rows of it. I'll probably end up just mowing that down pretty early. In case if I climb up a tree over here, then I can see all the way into this other plot. That's why I didn't mix the soybeans with the Nutri-Crave, because I planned on cultivating it and potentially mowing it down. Where this other corn, breaking this 1 acre field in half, that'll stay up the whole year. And you can see the Nutri-Crave definitely has a little bit like wavier type looking leaf. But yeah, this stuff's looking awesome. I accidentally killed a little bit on this last row here when I drove along here and sprayed the beans. You could see this one kind of survived, but this whole row is pretty much smoked except this top half up here. See, the turkeys have been having a fun time out here dusting and scratching around out there as well. So I messed up this first row a little bit, but it ain't the end of the world really. So yeah, for some reason this, I don't know if I put a little bit, mixed the prowl up a little bit heavier, put a little bit, I know last year I mixed up the prowl H2O too strong and really stunted my beans for a whole month after coming up. I was worried they weren't even gonna survive. My beans are off to an unbelievable, much better looking start this year than last year. So yeah, I'll have probably one more update. Here, let me just show you this quick. Forgot to show you this when I was over here. I got some sorghum. It's my first year trying sorghum. I'll probably have a whole separate video of that. I planted a strip here, and then a little patch in another field over there, and then little patches, little strips like this on 2 other different properties as well, just to see. I've seen people have pretty good results, you know, with the grain sorghum coming up. Grain sorghum, milo, same thing. You know, the stuff will get like 3 to 4 feet tall, and then they'll eat the seed head. So that's what all this is coming up. This looks like just solid grass coming up, but it's sprayed pretty heavily with simazine, same pre-emergent that I use on a lot of my corn. It seems like a pretty good pre-emergent. It holds back the weeds pretty good, especially the broadleafs. I mean, this stuff was planted probably like three weeks ago, and it was pretty slow to come up, but I'm not seeing hardly any weeds, so this should hopefully turn out pretty good. So, and then I got another little bean plot right there. I didn't really make a video on that this year. Just an extension onto this field basically, with a nice driving trail in between. This one I will spray today. This was planted probably like a week and a half after that field. So these beans are a little bit smaller, but they're looking pretty good. This field's got quite a few weeds. Anyways, and I got a little bit of Nutri-Crave up there just for a screening wall. So I'll have at least one more update of these fields right here. Alright, here we are, June 29th. This will be the final update of this field and that other field further out there, which I'll take you to next. Both these fields planted the exact same day. It was like early May, I believe, May 4th, I think. These things have had flowers on them for about a week now, these soybeans. Pretty good weed control in here. I put this plot in pretty thick. Some of the other bean plots I planted like a week or two after this, I wish I would have planted really thick like this. I planted them plenty thick, where they're going to get, you know, pretty good canopy closure, but there'll be some thin spots in some of my other bean plots. But this plot probably does look the best for size of the beans, weed control. I mean, there is some of this stuff. It's whatever this stuff is, it's not really usually a problem weed, not like water hemp or giant ragweed. This stuff only gets like 2 or 3 feet tall. And then I got the Nutri-Crave corn over here. A couple weeds on this edge, because when I sprayed this I didn't want to get too close to the corn, obviously being non-Roundup ready. And I did cultivate this stuff one time. Basically, this is what it looks like. Actually, I might have... Yeah, I think I just cultivated it one time. This is the weed control. No chemical, just a pre-emerge put down of simazine and Prol H2O. Got a few weeds in here, a few grasses, a couple soybeans. And on this stuff, I cultivated, so it knocked back some of the weeds. There's still a couple grasses that survived. I skipped that outside row so I wouldn't rip up too many of them beans going through. You can see obviously the corn over here, and it drops off as it gets closer to the tree line here. Overall, really happy. I mean, this is really only about a 1/4 acre of corn. It looks like more than what it is. This field in total is about a 1/2 acre. Like about half of it corn, about half of it soybeans. Yeah, really looking good. I mean, there's hardly any gaps in here. Like right here where I'm standing, most of the field's just nice and lush, full canopy closure. I will have more updates of this food plot. I'll have an end of summer update of all these plots. Yeah, this corn's really looking good. I mean, it's not even July. It's, like I said, June 29th, not even July, and then this stuff's almost at my head. So, pretty good corn here. And I did fertilize this corn and all my corn two separate times. I side dressed with some urea, so that's helping. It has to be helping a little bit, obviously. I mean, this stuff looks amazing. You get down in here, no weeds or nothing, just unbelievable looking patch. This outside row, the last time I had corn here, it grows ears, but not too good. I mean, look at how small it is. They're usually like, you know, anywhere from like 4 to 6 inch cobs. Gotta push some more of this brush back. I killed this mulberry tree here, because this thing, every time we'd plow this, would have roots like all the way out into the corn here, way out to the middle of the field. Here's a a pigweed or a water hemp. But yeah, I'll take you out to that next field. That's about an acre field. The deer have been in here a little bit. I mean, there was definitely some browse pressure early on, but not too bad. And you can see there's a little patch right here where a deer browsed for a couple minutes. But overall, the browse pressure hasn't really been terrible. So that's why they're looking really nice. And just like any area, I mean, the plants like this that, you know, are kind of gonna have more room to grow. You can see it's, I guess there's two plants here, but this one's really bushing out. It's growing some side shoots, where some of these really thick areas, they're gonna be more just a straight up plant. So beans, they can kind of make up for being planted thinner sometimes. I don't know what these things are gonna end up yielding, but man, they're looking really good. I mean, I don't know much about yield and farming, but these have got to be, we'll see what they look like at the end of the year, but I'm expecting, you know, at least 50 or 60 bushels out of these. These are probably going to last all the way into late February, mid to late February, because I got other plots further that way and further that way that they'll consume first before they really start hitting. This is going to be the last available food, more than likely, on the farm. It was last year. It was almost every year, pretty much, the last reserves out here for late season food. All right, I'll take you out to that next field. That's about an acre plot. All right, so here we are. This is like 4 rows of corn. I think it's 4 rows. I got 6 rows. 6 rows of corn, cutting through the middle to basically just divide this plot into 2. I did this last year, obviously, with the Trump sign out here with all the letters. That worked out really nice, and I did that this year, another plot over that way. I really like how this, you know, turns out, because in areas like this, if the deer kind of chomp on the corn, you got the beans underneath to fill in if the corn doesn't do good. Now, where the corn does good, yeah, obviously the beans are getting shaded out. They're not really gonna provide a ton of pods, but they'll have pods on them. And you can see in here, I don't know if it's rabbits or if it's deer. I've noticed this over the last couple years of doing it like this. The beans inside these corn rows always get nipped on pretty heavily. I think it's partially rabbits, but it could be deer as well. But yeah, I could not ask for a much better looking plot of beans. I mean, yeah, there's a couple thin spots in here, but that just means these plants on these, next to these thin spots, will just really bush out and they'll have more room to grow, where some of them really thick spots, you know, they'll be more of just a single stem plant. But yeah, hardly any weeds in here, a couple pigweeds, a couple water hemps, but overall nothing to be super concerned about. Like some of these ones, you know, this will probably get about to the top of the beans, maybe a little bit above them. I mean, some of these, basically we got crop dominance here. That means right now at this stage, almost knee high, I'm not seeing hardly any weeds at the height of the crop. Most of the weeds are, you know, smaller than the crop, which is a good sign. I mean, there's a couple of them in here that are as big as the beans. Like this one will probably be like a 4 or 5 footer by the end of the year. That's why I'm gonna pull him out. That might end up trying to grow back when you leave him on the soil like that, especially if you get a rain. But for the most part, I'm not seeing, like it's definitely been worse in here in the past. I made it a priority for sure on these 2 plots to get them sprayed early. And I did spray them 2 times, like I said. I sprayed them real early when everything was small. Usually, you know, the lamb's quarters, I can usually kill these weeds even when they're this big. Right here's one. You'll be able to kill that with Roundup, and even when it's that big. But a water hemp that big, you won't Roundup or glyphosate won't even touch it. So I sprayed these plots 2 times when the weeds were small, and I'm not seeing too many weed issues out here. Where in the past I've waited a little bit, thought I could get away with just spraying them once, and it was a nightmare. I mean, there was tons and tons of water hemp out here. And there is some on that far edge. I'll show you when I get back over there. Like right here's one. I used to have a ton of them out here like this. It does help to have the beans planted thicker too. You can get a faster canopy. But that's a problem issue right there. I used to have a lot more of them when I would wait a little bit to spray. So you gotta spray early. And then this is the Nutri-Crave corn. That's all obviously field corn, Roundup Ready, mixed with the beans. This is the Nutri-Crave again. And I did end up killing some of it on this first row here. The first time I sprayed. You can see multiple plants here that died, some of them that are half dead, still alive kinda. For some reason this one survived. Nuked all these other ones. But this right here is the best looking corn on the farm right now. Tallest, because the earliest stuff planted. And I cultivated this one time as well, the same day as I cultivated the other stuff. And yeah, this stuff's actually a little taller. This is going to provide a ton of winter food out here, just this one field. And then I got a little patch of soybeans over here. I think I got some footage of that. Actually, no, I don't think I did. Oh yeah, and then this will be in a separate video. This is my Milo patch. Milo or grain sorghum, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. Just trying a little different food source out here and see how well they hit it. I'm not sure if I got any footage of these ones planting and whatnot. I sprayed Enlist on these 2 days ago, Friday. It's Sunday. I don't know if these weeds are gonna kill. It should kill some of these smaller ones, but it says anytime like water hemp that's over 8 inches tall more than likely won't die. And you can see some of these beans. Let me see if I can find one. I'm not seeing too many, but right here, for some reason, these aren't true seed beans. These are harvested beans from a local farmer that we know. And they're Enlist beans, but for whatever reason, see that? It's like 5%, like 1 to 5% end up looking pretty bad. Like that's probably not gonna die, probably not gonna live. But you can see for the most part, most of them look good. But every once in a while you'll see a bean like right here. It's limp and looks like it's dying. So maybe a small percentage of the, you know, plants don't inherit the correct gene to survive the Enlist. You can see like all these look good and then one right here. So thank God it's only 1 to 5%. If it was like half of them, it wouldn't even be worth spraying it. Because like I said, we'll see if these weeds die. I know a lot of times when you spray 2,4-D on water hemp like this, it just stays green for a while like that. And then a week or 2 later, it's upright again, growing. So yeah, these beans look alright too. Planted a couple weeks after those ones. I got a little Nutri-Crave screening wall. And then that's all buckwheat on the back side over there. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty cool to get both the tractors out here. Me and my dad both working the ground, getting it done. Got some pretty good drone footage of plowing this plot earlier this year. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll have plenty more coming. I just gotta get to editing and get this stuff out. So